Yay! Hello, hello, hello. We are live, Untangled, episode 75. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. No, it's not canceled. We are committed. I am committing. I've been, first of all, hello. I'll talk a little bit about commitment and Lori in a second. But how is everyone? How are you feeling? Hi, Paula. Hi, Yoga Jogai. Hi, Lars. Hi, Starry Sky. Hi, Astrid. Hi, Liz. Hi, Mary Ann. Hi, Julie. Hi, Hazel, Jojo, Hilly, Gaia, Jane, Anna. It's so good to see all of you guys here. How's everyone feeling? We just came out of some really intense energies over the weekend. Hi, Jill. Hi, Frequency 24. Hi, Wes. I feel gripped by soul. I hope that's a good feeling. I feel great. Yay, you made a live. Okay, so I only have about 30 to 45. Thank you for that super chat, Starry Sky. Appreciate that. I only have about 30 to 45 minutes because I'm doing my Align class. So I kind of want to get going and get started. So really quickly, just two little like housekeeping items. I am on February 1st, which is next Thursday. I am starting a free YouTube series that's going to be about 6 weeks. It may go a little bit longer. We'll see. But it's called The Divine Design. And it's every Thursday at 2 p.m. California time, live here on YouTube. And I'm going to be talking about my book. I'm going to go into a lot more detail. I'm going to read. I'm going to answer questions. So if you've read the book, tried to read the book, listened to the book, love the book, don't understand the book, and everything in between, don't even know what I'm talking about. I wrote this book. It was published 2022 of August. Join us for this YouTube series that I'm going to do because this is a deep, deep remembrance of who you are and why you came onto the planet, and also what Earth has gone through for millions of years, what you've gone through as a consciousness with Earth and with humanity, and the power of that remembrance, the power of really activating that cellular remembrance, and how it really does assist you in navigating what you're going through right now in little incremental ways. So that's starting on February 1st here on YouTube. So if you subscribe to my channel and you hit the notification button, you will get notified when we go live. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, how we separated from source. I do not believe in the Big Bang Theory. So how we separated from source, how we came into a physical form as consciousness, how the earth was created, why the earth was created, how did we fall from a 5D to a 3D, what is this about reptilians and the grays and all these aliens and species and races and etc. What else am I going to talk about? Our interaction and communication with higher dimensional light beings, how our body processes trauma and emotions, what we're currently going through on a physical level in terms of evolution and frequency of light in the body, and everything and anything in between, all kinds of stuff. It's so intense. Oh, DNA. Let's talk about DNA. Oh, it's going to be fun. So that's happening. And then the second thing that I wanted to mention is that I am doing, and it's my only in-person event that I have scheduled so far this year, but I'm doing a 3-day in-person workshop, April 19th to the 21st in Boone, North Carolina, at the Art of Living Retreat Center. And that link is down below in the description. It's going to be really, really activating and really powerful. And it's also going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be so much fun. We're all going to be in the same, staying in the same place, waking up in the same place, having breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. Tons of like-minded people will be there. And it's a beautiful, beautiful location. So if you are wanting to do something for yourself and be around like-minded people, meet new people, just bring yourself into a new environment, come meet me in person, do it. April 19th to the 21st, Boone, North Carolina, the Art of Living Retreat Center. All right, let's get going. So a couple of things. I wish you could be there too, Lars. A couple of things. I was sharing this on Instagram live before I came on here. I woke up at 2 a.m. and was awake. I wasn't wide awake, but I was awake and I couldn't go back to sleep. I was just laying in my bed and my body was just so exhausted. Oh, and I was just my eyes were closed, but I just couldn't get back into sleep. Just fall asleep. So I finally got out of bed at 6. So that was 4 hours of just laying in bed, and I was exhausted. I had a call at 7. I had to do some stuff, and anyway, I was just exhausted. And there were 2 things that I did. The first thing was, and I'm sharing this in case you want to try this, because I decided to turn my frown upside down. And I decided to not look at exhaustion as something that's going to take me like I normally do. Like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm not going to be able to do the rest of the day. I'm not going to feel like connected, and I'm going to feel exhausted. But no, no, no. I was like, I'm turning that upside down, and no, I'm not going to. I'm going to have a different story around tiredness. I'm tired of playing in the same stories, and so I made that choice. That's first and foremost. By the way, 2024 is all about choosing something new. It's truly that simple. It's about choice. We have to start choosing, because we can continue to play out the same stories and the same programs for the rest of our lives, and they'll be there. They'll be there. You can grab any story you want, any way of seeing the world that you've seen it for however long, including something as simple as, if I don't get enough sleep, I'm exhausted throughout the day, and then I'm cranky, and then I can't show up, and blah, blah, blah. That may or may not be true. It may have been true your entire 48 years of your life, but you can also change that story. And you have to force yourself to choose a different story. We have to do this right now. That's the lion energy. You have to choose. No one's going to do this for us. No one. We have to start choosing. And when we start choosing, we start taking self-responsibility and accountability, and we don't like doing that. We want to be able to have a reason why we're feeling this way, or a reason why we can't, or a reason for this and that. I'm telling you, become so empowered right now by recognizing what you're choosing, and that truly everything's a choice. Now, you may be in a situation right now in your life where you really don't believe that you have a choice, okay? And so everything is um, take everything with a grain of salt. And there's always, a gray area in all of this. But the way you see the world is a choice, always. The way you see the world is a choice. Anyhow, so I saw somebody on Instagram last week, good old Instagram. She was like, I forgot what she was why she was talking about this, but she had a big bowl of water and a ton of ice in it, and she stuck her head in it for 10 seconds and then lifted her head out, stuck her head in it for 10 seconds, lifted her head out. And I was like, damn, that's smart. I'm going to try that when I'm tired and exhausted one morning. So got my chance this morning, woke up 6 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to do the bowl of water with ice. So you fill up a big bowl of water, you fill up a big bowl with ice, right? And then you pour water in it and you stick your head in it for 10 seconds. So I did that and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. I was like, but I need something a little more potent. I need something a little more powerful. So Lori pulls out her arson, no, her all the tools she has. What's that called? What's it called where you pull out all your tools that you have? Arsonry? Arsonry? No. What's it called? Arsenal. Yeah. I pulled out my arsenal and I snorted my aged urine. And let me tell you guys a little something about aged urine. And those of you that are like, what in the freak did she just say? I literally just said aged urine. Urine aged. Okay, so if you haven't been following me and you're like, what in the God's green earth? Sometimes I use my aged urine for medicinal reasons. And it's powerful, it's potent, it's literally the best medicine that you have in the world ever. That's why there's a program around it that it is that it is toxic, that you cannot drink it, that you cannot use it. It's an absolute utter, it's the biggest lie we've ever been told. Um, Anywho, what I do, in case anybody wants to try this, you don't have to be in the best health. You don't have to be eating the cleanest diet. Your medicine that comes out of you through urine has your stem cells in it, and you can digest it, and your body will appreciate it and knows exactly what to do with it. Anywho, what I do is I take a big 2-gallon glass jar that I've bought on Amazon. I have a couple of them. And first, this is maybe going to gross a lot of you out, but so be it. It's what I do. And I wanted to share it with you today. I will fill this up with my beautiful urine, and I'll fill it up to the top, and then I go place it outside and let it sit in the sun, and I let it age. And so basically it just is, as long as it's a couple of days old, that's aged, but I let it age for a couple months. And I have a couple of these. And I will use one big one, okay, one big 2.5-gallon um, glass jar for simply snorting it when I don't feel good, when I'm exhausted, when I need a little, sometimes I'll do it throughout the day. And it literally, it's like cocaine, but health, like, but but like it, I don't even have words for it. You take a little petri dish. This is how I do it. I take a little petri dish. I put some in there, put some of the aged urine in there, and then I just put it up to my nose and I start snorting it. First of all, the more aged it is, the longer it's been sitting in that jar, the more it burns like heck. It burns so bad. But I'm telling you, it blasts any sinuses, it blasts any congestion, it blasts, you can feel it moving into this area right here and breaking it open. It's the most incredible thing I've ever done. I swear by it. And I think that if everybody on the planet snorted their urine every day, we would be in a much better place. But it's so taboo. It's quite unfortunate. And I did it twice today, once at like 6:30 in the morning and once right before class here, not class, but Untangled. And it's not poisonous. It doesn't have toxins. It's not bad for you. Um, it's magic. It heals instantaneously. It's like, it's literally, I mean, no cold plunge can do what snorting your aged urine can do. No supplement, no, it's instantaneous. It's like insane. Um, so anyway, that's what I did. And I feel 1,000 times better. I'm tired. My body feels tired, but I feel good. Um, this was aged probably like 4 months. Maybe about 3 months. 3 months, about 3 months. Listen, for those of you that think that if you drink your urine, you're going to get sick, back in 2022, I drank my urine every single day, almost every day for the entire year. And I never got sick. I never got anything on my skin. It's a lie what they tell you about urine. It's an absolute lie. And if you want to test it, start drinking your urine and tell me if you get sick. It's not true. It's just it's absolutely not true. So it's really and I never talk about this, the urine therapy, but it's by far the biggest lie that we've ever been told. 100%. Um, yeah, it's crazy. I would love to speak a little bit more about it, but, you know, I don't know, people get really wonky with it. People get really weirded out. And this just goes to show, God bless all of us and all of the beliefs we have and all of the programming that we're in and all of it. But programming is really intense, Nan Curley, thank you for that super chat. Programming is This is how intense programming is. When somebody says something like, the word Russia, what do you think immediately? What's like a subconscious thought that comes in, or a subconscious feeling that comes in? If someone says, the Middle East, what comes in, right? What just is underneath that label or that word? If someone says, drink your urine, what immediately comes in, right? So the programming is this unconscious, really deep, subconscious um, belief system or story, emotion, thought that comes up that you don't even question. Okay, there's no questions, there's no questioning it. It just arises, and you allow that which is arising with whatever word or label or sentence came out, and you're letting them go side by side, right? And you're just, this is coming along with this. It just is truth, right? And the thing that we don't understand is, for instance, when I went to Africa, do you know how many people reached out and said, "I can't believe you went. Didn't you have to get shots?" A lot of people. How many shots did you have to get? What shots did you have to get? That's the programming, that if you go to Africa, you have to get shots. Where'd that program come from? Who told us that? It's not true. Well, back in the day, you had to. It doesn't matter. There's deep subconscious programming in us that we just grab and go with. It's so deep you don't even realize. You don't even realize. Thank you for the super chat. Um, you have to literally question every single thing that pops up as a thought or as a belief, right? Or as a truth. You have to question it. Where did it come from? Why are you believing it? Do you want to believe it? Do you want to look into something else? I've talked about this a lot, but the programming on this planet is next level insane. Next level insane. There's a lot of, it's you can argue for any of the programming. You can argue for any of it, which means that you can debate it, and or you can also just question why you're thinking it. That's all. Just question why you think what you think, right? Question why you know, just question it. Question everything. Many times we have these beliefs about things, and we've actually never experienced it ourselves. We're believing what people are telling us, or we're believing somebody else's experience, which is fine. I mean, that's how information is spread. That's how knowledge is spread. But many times it's not true. It's just not, you know? It's crazy because you know what they do in Africa? The Bill Gates Foundation goes there and tests out all their vaccines. I'm probably going to get whatever, but on hundreds of thousands of Africans. So, we look at Africa and we're like, "Oh my God, it's so dangerous. There's so many diseases spreading over there. There's so many blah blah blah." It's like, that's where we go to test out our stupid fucking vaccines. Excuse my language. We go to Africa and we inject them, and we watch and see what happens. It's crazy. It's just here's what I say. I'm probably going to lose a lot of people on this live, but here's what I say. Anything they tell you to believe, flip it and just start questioning the other side of it. Just try, you know? Just start flipping it a little bit. See what happens. What if? What if? What if? I don't know how I got on this topic. I don't know how I got on this topic. Oh, thank you for that. Nothing, super chat. Nothing. Nobody. Um, The 2024 is the year of cognitive dissonance. Oh, I think that was 20 I think that was 2020, my friend. I think 2020 was the year of cognitive dissonance. Can't quite wrap your head around the fact that, a truth is a truth. Just can't grasp it. It seems impossible, you know? It seems Emmy, did you snort it? I'm so proud of you. You should do a class with utilizing our plasma. I really should. I really would. I would love to. Cognitive dissonance is when you drink out of a Starbucks cup. There's no cognitive dissonance in drinking out of a Starbucks cup. I'm aware of what I'm doing. Cognitive dissonance is when someone's telling you something, right? Like, this is not good for you to drink out of. This is not good for you to drink out of. And I'm like, this is absolutely good for me to drink out of. This is absolutely good for me to drink out of. This is absolutely good for me to drink out of. That's not true. This is good for me to drink out of, right? And then there can be like somebody could walk in and show you that they got some sort of sickness from drinking out of Starbucks cups, and you still are like, nope, it's okay if I drink out of a Starbucks cup. It's okay if I drink out, right? You have dissonance with the absolute truth and what you want to believe. You can't quite wrap your head around the fact that this might not be the best thing to drink out of, right? I don't have cognitive dissonance. I'm aware that drinking out of plastic may not be, and paper may not be the best thing for me. I just don't choose to focus on it. Like, I'm aware of what the government's doing. I'm aware of what the World Economic Forum is doing. I'm aware of the manipulation and the lies. I'm aware of all that, right? I'm not in dissonance of cognitive dissonance. I'm aware of it. I see it all, right? It doesn't mean I'm going to stop paying my taxes right now. I still have to pay my taxes. I enjoy my Starbucks. I'm good. But I sure will snort my urine in order to activate my pineal gland in my third eye and to blast myself when I feel tired or sick or exhausted. We all get to play the game the way we want to, you know? This is our game, this is our video game, this is the matrix that we live in, and we get to choose how we're gonna play in it, you know? Some people, thank you for the super chats, Victoria and Torsten. Some people are gonna wanna, like, really get real disciplined in what they put in their body. Some people are not gonna give a shit. Is one person better than the other? No. You know what I mean? Like, if you eat super clean and you have super filtered air and water, and you only eat the most organic of organic, are you any better than the person that goes to Walmart and shops from the Walmart store because that's what they can afford, and they don't care and they're not aware, and they're just trying to survive? Are you any better? No way. Not even close. You're still just a human, disguised as soul, navigating a human experience, and nobody's better than the other. And this idea that we have to judge people for what they're doing because they're not awake enough, or they're not clean enough, they're not eating clean enough, or they're still believing in this, or they're still believing in that, um, that needs to be looked at. We need to look at that. We really do. Well, why am I continuing to judge people for how they're living or how they're choosing to live? There must be something within myself that I'm still judging. What am I judging about myself? What am I critiquing about myself? You know, um, it's interesting to look at what we are choosing to judge about other people. You want to know why it's so hard for you to just be who you are? Because everybody has an opinion and wants to critique or criticize you. They wanna tell you, "Well, maybe you should do this," or, "Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this?" And then we wonder why we can't just step out and be all of who we are. Think about it. It's 'cause we're constantly judging other people. Other people are constantly judging you. It doesn't make it easy to be who you are. It's such an interesting world right now because And we all do this. Many of us do this, but we get caught in the judgments, judging people for this or for that, not being this or not being that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And that way of being is stopping ourselves from being able to be who we are. Of course, we're not going to be able to be all of who we are, truthfully, honestly, vulnerably, rawly, in a raw fashion. Why? Because you know that you're still judging people. So you know that people are going to judge you. And then there's this insecurity that arises, you know? It's difficult coming online and showing up and being yourself. It's not easy. It's not easy because there's millions of people that have opinions on what you should think and what you should look like and what you should say and how you should say it and all of that. It's very difficult, and it's very easy for us to look at someone and kind of tell them how they should be or critique them or judge them. We all do this, but it's a really interesting human pattern that we need to look at because when we are outgrowing these patterns, when we're outgrowing our own insecurities, the insecurities may get louder and louder. And when they get louder and louder, we may find ourselves pointing the finger at other people, perhaps judging other people. And it's just something to be aware of because it's a way of sort of releasing our own judgment that we have with ourselves, right? But the more that we become comfortable with who we are, the more we're comfortable with anybody else just being who they are. It doesn't bother us anymore. I mean, that's not to say that there's not a gray area in this. We're obviously going to judge people. The judgment is here. Judgment is part of the matrix. It's part of this experience. It's just part of this. And people will say, no, it's just an opinion. Well, whatever. That's semantics. Um, but when you have this um, resting in life more, where you're okay being who you are more and more, you're allowing yourself to be who you are, you're forgiving yourself, you're not judging yourself the way you used to, then that automatically is projected out into the world, and you just start softly and gently accepting more people, allowing more people, seeing that if somebody is being aggressive or somebody's being mean or someone's even being judgmental, that it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with some sort of suffering or pain that they have inside of them. And so the more and more that we do this internal work, this inner journey where we're looking at our own judgments and our own criticisms and our own uncomfortablenesses about who we are and how we show up and the choices that we make and um, whatever it is, the more we get comfortable with that, the more we soften to that, the more we are okay with who we are, it's reflected out. It just naturally starts happening. And then there's just this, a deeper and a slow but deeper acceptance of just what's happening with people. And the judgments get quieter and quieter. The opinions are there. We get to have the opinions. But that harsher feeling of judgment, like they're wrong and I'm right, goes away. You know, it's a lot of energy to critique and criticize and judge. Um, I mean, it's something I work on all the time, judgment, all the time. I am always aware of my judgments. Um, Even the other day that I had an experience where, somebody in my world is just kind of not right now. I don't know if they're, like, on drugs or, like, what's going on, but they're just not quite right. And I was gonna message my other friend and be like, "Dude, what's going on?" Like, and I was like, "No, Lori, just let it be. It's okay. Like, let her just be with what she is." And either whether I communicated what I was experiencing with my girlfriend or not, it is what it is. But it's just noticing those little behaviors that we're so used to doing, and starting to ask ourselves, well, what if I just let it be? Just let this person be. There's sometimes there can be this sort of like energy that gets created when you talk about someone, or when you judge someone, or when you're like, oh yeah, they're doing this and I don't understand that, and this. There's an energy that builds up. It almost like it releases something within you. And so just paying attention to that and being curious about that, um, because we all got it in us. We all have this in us. So I appreciate the people that critique me and judge me and point their fingers at me, because it reminds me of what I do to others and what I do to myself. It's a reminder, like, oh yeah, Laura, you do the same thing sometimes. You judge, right? It's just like, wow, it sure doesn't feel good. No, it doesn't. Maybe you should stop doing it. Okay, maybe I'll try stop doing it to others and myself more and more. It's just that constant reminder, over and over and over again, and listening to all the different ways in which we want to see the world and experience the world. It all gets to be here. Why not, right? Like, if there's anything we've learned in the last like 4 years, 3.5 years, it's like, man, just being human and just surviving the human experience is enough. Why are we complicating it with telling other people how they should be, or what they should think, or what they should do, or what they should feel? Like, just being in my own damn world, man. Navigating my own sufferings and pain and judgments. Maybe I'll just stick to that for as long as possible. Sure ain't easy, because then something pops up on Instagram or somewhere else, or at the grocery store or at the airport, and you're just like, "What the hell?" You start getting upset with what they're doing, or what they're all of it. It's humanity. Humanity. Oh, and this is the juice of humanity. This is the beauty of humanity, is that we all are navigating this really crunchy, messy, chaotic, unraveling of limitations, programming, trauma, illusion, like all of it. We're just like peeling ourselves away from this really sticky, mucky stuff that uh you know we're all doing together. We're all navigating this evolution, this awakening together, side by side. Like, it's like, uh I think deep down, as difficult as this is sometimes for me to hold, I really believe most people are doing the best they can with what they have. um And I try to remember that as often as I can as I'm navigating my day. It's very, very difficult. Um, but I try to do that. Yeah, I try. We are contradictions, Aunt Millie. Being human, it's okay to point out inconsistencies. Yes. Anyway, you guys, I have my Align today at 10, so I do have to get going. It's 555, 555 people. That's my number. That always reminds me of Jesus. 555. Um, yeah, it always reminds me. We are badass warriors. You guys are incredible. Every single one of us. We're absolutely incredible. Um, I didn't even get to. I feel like I didn't even go into like my sermon today. I just talked about urine, ages urine, and judgment. Damn it. Anywho, You guys are incredible. I wanted to talk about integration, the humble integration of human in essence, human in soul, human in spirit. Just remember, we are so much bigger than what we think. We're so much bigger than the judgments that we hold. We're so much bigger than our opinions and our beliefs and our programs and our trauma. We're so much bigger than it. And the human journey, the human experience will pull you, and it is so humbling to be human. It's so humbling to be in the human body. It's so humbling to have the thoughts and the emotions, and the suffering and the grief and the joy. It's humbling to be in this human experience. But if there is anything that you can walk away from in this moment, is that we are all doing this side by side. All of us, we all have hearts that are opening more and more. We are learning more compassion and kindness. We don't want to be mean to each other. We want to be kind. We want to be considerate. We are walking side by side, all of humanity, as difficult as that may be. And there is a divine design in all of this. There is nothing out of place, out of whack. There is no mistake. This is an evolution. This is an awakening process. This is an opening our eyes over and over and over again. Remembering what we're doing here as consciousness or as spirit, soul, God in form, in a human form, right? And to really remember that as often as you can. You are not just the human, my God. You are so much bigger than that. And what a courageous freaking spirit, soul, God light that you are for being in the human body right now, reincarnating back in, perhaps for the 767th time. Perhaps this is your first time. Welcome to Earth. And this is the ride of a lifetime. So put your seatbelt on, put your hands up, because it's a roller coaster ride that you wanted to be on, that you agreed to be on, and that we are on all together. We are on this ride together. You can't get off. Don't try to get off. You don't want to get off. I promise you. Stay focused on what it is that you want this year, right? Open your heart more for yourself, open your heart more for humanity. We're absolute incredible gifts to this planet. You're a gift to yourself, you're a gift to the world. And we simply forgot who we are. And so let's remember as often as we can. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next Tuesday for Align episode 76. Mwah.